Have you ever suddenly felt one arm become weak, struggled to find the right words, or experienced a dizzy spell that disappeared just a few minutes later? If you're over 65, don't assume it's simply part of getting older. Many strokes don't begin with dramatic symptoms. Instead, they often start with subtle warning signs that are easy to ignore. The problem is that those small warning signs may be your body's last chance to alert you before a more serious stroke happens. In today's video, we're going to cover 5 early stroke signs that many older adults overlook. Stay with us until the end because the 5th sign is one that people frequently mistake for normal aging, and recognizing it early could make a real difference. Remember, this video is for educational purposes. If you or someone around you develops sudden stroke symptoms, don't wait to see if they improve. Call your local emergency services immediately. Quick treatment can greatly improve the chances of recovery. As we age, our risk of stroke naturally increases. Conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, heart disease, smoking, and an irregular heartbeat can all raise that risk. A stroke happens when blood flow to part of the brain is blocked or interrupted, preventing brain cells from getting the oxygen they need. Sometimes the symptoms disappear after only a few minutes. Doctors call this a transient ischemic attack, or TIA, often known as a mini-stroke. Even though the symptoms go away, it's a serious warning sign that should never be ignored. Let's begin with the first warning sign. The first early stroke sign is sudden weakness or numbness on one side of the body. This is one of the most common symptoms, but it isn't always dramatic. You may notice that one arm suddenly feels heavy while carrying a grocery bag, or one leg doesn't seem to move quite right when you stand up. Maybe you drop your coffee mug for no obvious reason, or feel your foot dragging as you walk across the room. The important word is sudden. Normal aging causes gradual changes over months or years. Stroke symptoms usually appear within seconds or minutes. Even if the weakness disappears quickly, don't ignore it. Temporary symptoms can still be a warning that a larger stroke could happen later. The second warning sign is sudden trouble speaking or understanding others. You may know exactly what you want to say, but the words simply won't come out correctly. Your speech may become slurred, or you may have trouble finding simple words you've used your whole life. Sometimes it's not your speech that changes, but your ability to understand what someone else is saying. A family member may ask you a simple question, yet for a few moments, the words don't seem to make sense. This is very different from occasionally forgetting a name or losing your train of thought. Those changes can happen with normal aging. A sudden change in speech or understanding is not normal and should be treated as an emergency. One easy way to remember the most common stroke symptoms is the word fast. F stands for face drooping, S stands for arm weakness, S stands for speech difficulty, T stands for time to call emergency services immediately. Those 4 letters have helped countless people recognize a stroke quickly. The third warning sign is sudden dizziness, loss of balance, or difficulty walking. Everyone feels dizzy from time to time, especially after standing up too quickly. But stroke-related dizziness often feels different. Imagine walking through your kitchen when it suddenly feels as though the room is spinning. You grab the counter to keep from falling. Your steps become unsteady, and you begin drifting to one side. Many older adults assume it's just dehydration, an inner ear problem, or simple fatigue. While those conditions can certainly cause dizziness, sudden balance problems, especially when combined with other symptoms like weakness or speech difficulty, should never be ignored. The part of the brain that controls balance can be affected during a stroke, making even simple walking feel difficult. If you suddenly cannot walk normally, seek emergency medical care right away. Before we continue, here's one mistake many people make. They tell themselves, "I'll wait an hour and see if it gets better." Unfortunately, waiting can cost precious time. Even if symptoms disappear, they still require immediate medical evaluation. Now let's look at the 4th warning sign. The 4th early stroke sign is sudden vision changes. These changes often happen without warning. You may suddenly lose vision in one eye, notice that half your field of vision seems to disappear, develop double vision, or experience severe blurriness that wasn't there a moment earlier. Many people assume they simply need stronger glasses. But glasses don't usually cause vision to change suddenly. When vision changes appear all at once, the problem may actually be occurring in the brain rather than the eyes. For example, you may be reading the newspaper and suddenly notice that half the words seem to disappear. Or while watching television, part of the screen appears missing. Even if your eyesight returns to normal after a few minutes, don't dismiss it. Temporary vision loss can be one of the earliest warning signs of a stroke. Now let's discuss the fifth and final warning sign, the one that many people mistake for normal aging. The fifth warning sign is sudden confusion or changes in thinking. This isn't the occasional forgetfulness that many people experience as they grow older. Instead, it happens suddenly. Perhaps you're making breakfast and suddenly forget what you're doing. You may become confused about where you are, struggle to follow a conversation, or respond to simple questions with answers that don't make sense. Often, family members notice these changes before the person experiencing them does. They may say, "You're just not acting like yourself." Sudden confusion should never be ignored, especially if it's accompanied by weakness, speech problems, dizziness, or vision changes. Many people decide to lie down for a nap, hoping they'll feel better later. If the cause is a stroke, that delay could reduce the chance of receiving time-sensitive treatment. Let's quickly review the 5 warning signs we've covered today. Sudden weakness or numbness on one side of the body. Sudden trouble speaking or understanding others. Sudden dizziness, loss of balance, or difficulty walking. Sudden vision changes, and sudden confusion or changes in thinking. Remember, you don't have to experience all 5 symptoms. Even one sudden warning sign deserves immediate attention. Not every episode of dizziness or confusion is caused by a stroke. Other conditions, such as low blood sugar, dehydration, infections, or medication side effects, can cause similar symptoms. That's why it's so important to let healthcare professionals determine the cause instead of trying to diagnose it yourself. The good news is that there are also steps you can take to help lower your stroke risk over time. Keep your blood pressure under control, since it's one of the biggest risk factors for stroke. Manage diabetes and cholesterol with the help of your healthcare provider. Stay physically active with regular exercise that's appropriate for your ability, even if it's simply a daily walk. Eat a balanced diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean protein, and healthy fats. If you smoke, consider seeking support to quit. Take your prescribed medications as directed, attend regular medical checkups, and don't ignore new or unusual symptoms. While these habits can't guarantee that you'll never have a stroke, they can help support your heart, blood vessels, and overall brain health. Most importantly, trust your instincts. If something suddenly feels wrong, don't assume it's just old age. It's always better to be evaluated and discover it wasn't a stroke than to ignore symptoms that needed immediate treatment. Every minute counts, and recognizing these warning signs could help protect not only your own health, but also the life of someone you love. If you found today's video helpful, we'd love to hear from you. How old are you, and which of these 5 warning signs surprised you the most? Share your answer in the comments below. Your experience may help someone else recognize these symptoms sooner. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, take good care of your health, and we'll see you in the next video.